Do you want to invite your family members or a relative or a friend to come visit you in Poland or in the Schengen area? Well then, listen to this podcast and this might help you. Good evening, Globetrotters. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Farah, your podcaster, and tonight I'll be talking about the steps that I did when I invited my mother to come visit us here in Poland during the summertime. And since this is a podcast, go ahead, you can have me in your background. All you have to do is to listen. You don't have to look at your screen. That's the good thing about podcasts. This is episode 1 of my Schengen Visa podcast series where I'll be answering your questions. That's all about visa procedures, documents, papers, all the visa guides. Okay, so here are the documents that I sent to my mother in the Philippines when she applied for a Schengen Visa. Number 1, I sent my birth certificate, the original and the photocopy of the PSA birth certificate, which is needed at the embassy to prove the relationship of the invitee and the inviter. So that is a very important document. Do not ever forget that. Number 2 is my marriage certificate. I sent the original and photocopy of my Polish marriage certificate. And oh no, just a quick background. I've been married for oh my gosh, for more than a decade now. Oh no, I've been very patient with you, Polak. So yes, I've been married for more than a decade now. I sent her, the mother, my marriage certificate. Number 4, and the next one, I sent her the travel insurance because I bought my mother's travel insurance here in Poland online. I actually bought it from AXA. Generally, I forgot, but yes, I bought that online and I sent the policy to my mother. Number 4, bank statements and certificates. So at least 3 months of bank statements, and then the certificates have to be stamped by the bank. You have to make sure that the bank statements, which you can download online, you have to make sure that these are stamped by the bank. And before we move on, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you'll be able to find something useful here. And do not forget to subscribe. Okay, so number 5, we sent our IDs, my passport, my husband's passport, and my father-in-law's passport. I will explain later why my father-in-law's passport is included, so stay tuned with that one. And lastly, this very important document, the invitation and sponsorship called Zaproszenie here in Poland, where if an EU citizen or national is inviting a relative or a family member to come visit to Poland or the Schengen region, then the EU citizen or the national has to process the formal invitation and sponsorship called Zaproszenie. I got a question from one of my friends asking me, Farah, how did you process your Zaproszenie or the invitation in Poland? Actually, it was my father-in-law that processed it for me. So, all thanks to him, he went to the office in Szczecin, in the city of Szczecin, and got the papers, came back home, and gave it to me. I filled it up, and when he went back, he got all the necessary documents that needed to be presented, the birth certificate, marriage certificate, and the bank statements. So all those things were checked and he got approved. So that is also the reason why my father-in-law's ID was included among the documents that I sent to my mother in the Philippines for her to give to the consul at the embassy, because my mother's sponsor was my father-in-law. Therefore, the consul had to see that my father-in-law is indeed my father-in-law. And how do I prove that? How does my mother prove that? There's that birth certificate and the marriage certificate that will tie to my husband, and my husband to my father-in-law, as well as me to my mother because of my birth certificate. All those papers will prove the relationship. Therefore, the consul approved. So when the Zaproszenie was already approved and my father-in-law got the physical paper, he gave it to me, and that day I sent all these documents to the Philippines. I used the Polish Postal Service. I did not use any express or the private companies. No, I didn't use anything like that. So 5 to 7 days later, the documents reached Manila, and 2 days later the documents reached my mom. It wasn't anything, to say we didn't use any express service, something like that. No, we did not, and it was just fine. Do check out the next episode in this series podcast. Still on the invitation, Zaproszenie, how my father-in-law processed this paper in the city of Szczecin. That's for next time. So whether you're in Italy, Germany, France, and you're planning to invite someone to go visit you in the Schengen area, you might want to check it out. Okay, so good night for now, Globetrotters. Time for me to hit the sack. Catch next episodes still about Schengen Tourist Visa DIY, Schengen Tourist Visa with invitation, how to process the invitation or Zaproszenie, and so much more. Till then, papa!